Again, again.
We're Josiah and Lauda, and we exchanged traditional comforts for a life filled with adventure, peace, and freedom when we moved into our van Paz in June of 2021.
Join us as we explore alternative ways of living outside the system. So this last week we had an experience that I think that I will never forget in my life. And it's so difficult to put into words. So making this video is really complicated, at least for me.
Yeah, I feel like we probably all had an experience like that where we feel like looking back and trying to explain or put into words what our experience was almost discounts what the experience was.
Mm-hmm.
But this was such a magical 4 or 5 days that we want to share it.
Yeah, for me it was so powerful and so special that we decided to share with you. Although, and this is a little disclaimer, we are not recommending plant medicine to anybody. We are not saying that this is the solution for all your problems or
Yeah, we're just talking about our experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if you saw our episode last week up here, you know that we've been volunteering with a shaman the last 2 weeks. The first week we were able to work on his farm, really special experience. We recommend you check out the episode. And this last week we were able to support him in a plant medicine ceremony for 5 days. There were 6 of us participating, and it was really special.
Yes, and in this video we are gonna refer to one of the plant medicine as la abuela.
The grandmother.
Yeah, and because it has other names, but in the past I have heard about those names, and I grew up with all these taboos and fear that maybe it's something kind of like brujeria.
Yeah.
Or black.
Like witchcraft.
But it's not like that. And for me, I really connect with this name La Abuela because the experience was a very deep connection with my grandma. And yeah, for me it's just like a powerful name, La Abuela, because the medicine is so strong, so powerful, but also so loving and kind.
Yeah, and the shaman actually was the one calling it La Abuela, the first medicine that we took, and he talked about it as having a feminine energy, that it's an experience that you have on your own, going deep within yourself, but in a loving way, in a very deep, powerful way, like you said. And for me it was perfect being able to connect with that feminine energy, because I feel like throughout my life I've been able to be successful by really leaning into my masculinity, my masculine energy, and that's how I've been successful in my career, and at least that's what I thought. And the life I'm living now, I want peace, I want love, I want intimacy, I want connection, I want these things that require me to tap into my feminine energy, right? And I realized in a very visual way that's hard to explain, I realized that there were these tools, these feminine tools that I had in my toolbox that I just disregarded, I hadn't used, and they were rusting. And the results I'm wanting in my life now, I'm not going to get by just using the tool that I've always been using through masculine energy. You know, if I just have a hammer, everything looks like a nail, but a lot of things aren't nails, and it requires me to take those tools out, to polish them, because I haven't been using them. I love analogy.
Yeah. We all have masculine energy and feminine energy, and also realizing that we have traumas and maybe we complain about them, and maybe we judge other people for hurting us. But something very powerful was when the shaman said, like, you are your own father and you are your own mother. So stop complaining and stop judging, criticizing, and blaming others for the work that you need to do. Just acceptance. And acceptance is a beautiful word, because at the beginning my intention was I want to forgive myself and forgive others that have hurt me. And he made me rethink about my intention, because the word that I was looking for was acceptance. And it's a very special word. The second day, I really connect with the word, and I realize, I know what he's talking about, the acceptance. Acceptance that, okay, everything happened for a reason, and now it's my work. I have work to do, and I'm strong enough to do it and to find my peace. For me, it was so beautiful to relate the medicine with la abuela, or with my grandma, because although she is not alive, I had a really special connection with her. And for years, because I had a trauma with her death, for a lot of years I tried to avoid my memories of her. And reconnecting with her and seeing how synchronistic everything is, that I was there because of my abuela, is indescribable, because I can just feel her love, her presence, and everything in that place. We also took el abuelo.
Yeah.
That is
the grandfather, which is another medicine.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is important, but I never met my abuelos. And for me, the shaman became like my abuelito, because that masculine energy, I think I missed it. And it was so beautiful to experience that connection with the shaman.
And we're gonna talk about a few different medicines that we were able to experience. And from the beginning, I think it's important to say that the medicine, it's not the same in every environment. It's so important to be in a space where you feel safe, you feel protected, you feel like you can do the work. And for us, from the first night, we sat in a group, the 6 of us and then the shaman, and we went through our intentions. And I think it was so beautiful to be able to share our intentions, which was a very intimate experience with a group of strangers.
The first night, I didn't understand why I was there with those people that were so, like, for me, from different countries and all that. But at the end, I realized that was perfect.
Yeah.
And the environment was so, like, the shaman, they make us feel like we are a family.
Yeah, like
and
we're
every
home.
member is important.
Madre vida, luz de amor, te agradezco por mi vida, por mi aliento.
I was scared because I didn't know how the experience would be, and I wasn't looking for it, to be honest. I just wanted to serve. I just wanted to volunteer, like cooking, cleaning, helping. But when he told us, like, oh, you are gonna be part of the group, I was, wow. I don't have words to explain my feelings, but it was something inside me already knew that I needed, and that was the perfect moment to do the medicine. But my ego or my mind was telling me, no, you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna do that. And I told you, like, the first night, I'm not going to do the plant medicine. But something inside me just guide me to be there with all those strangers that, for me, as soon as I took the medicine, I thought that maybe it would be better to do it by myself, because now everybody's gonna see me or hear me throwing up, And after the first night, I just realized it was just my vanity. The shaman said that throwing up is like the water is healing and it's cleaning all the negative energy. So throwing up, it became a beautiful experience because it's like you are
letting go.
Yes, and getting rid of what the things that you are not, that you were conditioned to believe that you were or you have to do in this life. It's like purifying the soul, and it's amazing because I feel like water.
When we talk about the medicine, you might hear us talking about purging or throwing up and think, why would anyone sign up for that? There's no way you could convince me to do that. And I like to think of it as like when you go for an operation at the hospital. Like if you have a tumor or something that needs to be removed, the doctor cuts into you, the surgeon removes what is hurting you, right? In order for you to heal, in order for you to be healthy. And with the medicine, it's not just taking a pill and, okay, everything's better. It's work, and it's painful, and it's perfect.
As soon as you throw up, it's so healing.
Let's just go back for a second and like, what does the medicine, what does La Abuela actually do? In my logical mind, I feel like I have to understand like what's happening.
You don't.
but the way I would explain it is essentially like my ego is the gatekeeper of what parts of my mind I'm able to access. And with the medicine, with La Abuela, she essentially removes the ego, where I'm able to go through doors. I'm able to access parts of my mind to connect with the most intimate parts that maybe my ego is trying to protect me from because of past traumas or pain or whatever it is. It's all open. The level of consciousness that's opened is incredible. That also comes with distractions. Like when we talk about intentions, the shaman was speaking about it as like a canoe. Like we're all in a canoe, and having an intention is like having your oar. You're paddling down the river, but this river is like rapids, right? So the shaman is guiding us, but if you don't have your intention, it's like being in a canoe without oars, and the water just takes you. Though with some other plant medicines, you might have a little bit more control of where you're going. You set an intention and then you hold on, because La Abuela is very powerful.
I also think the abuela, in a way, like I'm in a roller coaster and I cannot escape. And this roller coaster is passing through all my fears, all my traumas, all the beautiful things as well, and depends on me if I want to see, if I want to find the answers and do the work to find the answer, or just close my eyes and close my mind and just being scared. But when you can really open your heart and your mind, you can find beautiful answers, or the answer you are looking for, and clarity.
My intention the first night was to recognize that voice, who I am, my authentic self, to accept all parts of me, and to love myself. And for me, it was so deep having that journey of really accepting all the parts, the shadow, the things that I want to reject within myself, the things that I don't like to accept, or the things I judge myself for, and just that deep acceptance is just so healing.
One really special part of the experience was connecting with myself, realizing that I'm everything, that I'm part of nature, and nature is part of me. For me, it's my truth. And now I'm so clear the areas that I have to work on to find this peace and love. That's what I'm looking for.
And for me, my journey of healing has been going on for a couple years. And in certain areas, I felt like I had hit a wall. I wasn't able to break through. And with the medicine, it was just smashed wide open. and there's a lot of pain that comes up, but being able to use the medicine to heal, to find my own peace with really difficult topics that my ego wouldn't let me touch because it was too painful. And that's not to say that it's not a lot of work. And if you're looking to take the medicine just to be an observer and just, oh, this is interesting, I want to see, sit back and watch, you're not going to get anything out of it, because it requires a lot of work to actually achieve your intentions.
Nuestros cuerpos cansados de ir a la muerte, al hoyo, al borde del mar, al final.
We also did Temescal.
Which is, we're sitting in a Temescal right now. It's essentially like a sauna. So it's
Natural sauna.
Yeah, so it's based in indigenous practices, and very intentional the way it's set up, the way everything goes. It's with, you make a fire with the rocks, you put the rocks in the middle, and you pour water, but with very specific songs, with medicines, and it gets really, really hot.
What I understand about the Temescal, for me, is so deep. It's a deep connection with Mother Earth, because it represents like the womb of Mother Earth. Yeah, el vientre.
Mm-hmm.
So you are entering to the womb, and it's so beautiful the remembering the sensation of being in your mother womb, because it's so warm and kind. And for me, the Temescal is like that. And also the rocks that we put in this sauna, they call them las abuelas too. And there is a beautiful feminine energy that I could feel in my heart, and with the songs, it really helped me to be focused in the work.
And I think for me, one of the most important parts of the Temescal isn't just to understand, but to feel the experience, the lessons, the pain, the whatever's coming up, because it's difficult, right? Like the heat, we're in there for hours, and we have the medicine in us, and the experience, I feel like in Temescal, it's just the next level.
Yes, it's so strong, but like it gives you the strength to continue. I remember I was almost dying on the floor, and the shaman started singing this beautiful song that, for me, music is like one of the biggest inspirations I have in my life, and I connect with the words, and I started like singing aloud, and it brought me a lot of strength. I was like, I'm strong, I'm a warrior. That's what I felt the last night.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful to see the power I have inside. And
I feel like going into the Temescal, it's like you could have therapy and you could understand like, oh, these are the traumas that I have. But going into the Temescal, it like simulates life, and the difficulties and the obstacles and the distractions and the beauty and all of it. And you get this beautiful opportunity to choose what you're going to focus on, if you're going to get distracted, if you're going to do the work, if you're just going to try to avoid. And for me, it's like this whole retreat wasn't just about taking the medicine. It was about all of the perfect circumstances of taking the medicine, being guided by this amazing shaman, being accompanied by this group of people that became a family, and then going into the Temescal, into the hiking, into all of these things where we got to do the work after the medicine, through the medicine, and understand how are we going to use these lessons as we go into our life after the retreat.
Mm-hmm. There is something very beautiful that the shaman said, and I really connect with his words. And it's like he said, we are not here to learn anything, we are here to remember. And I could experience that. I could really experience that in my whole body, inside me, that all that lessons, we already know those lessons. We just forgot.
Some things could even sound like a bumper sticker, right? Like you hear like, all you need is love, or like whatever this statement is, and you're like, yeah, of course. But going through with the medicine without the ego and really experiencing the words and connecting them with your past, with who you are at the deepest level in the most authentic way, they just land differently. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but those words, whatever they are, whether they're the shaman's words, whether they're the songs, whether they're, you know, the authentic self within each of us connecting, it's like, wow, it's clear. Like clarity is the biggest thing that I get through the plant medicine.
Mariposa, 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 mariposa.
The last day we went on a hike with plant medicine, and it was a very experiential experience, right? It was something that we did together, and every person that was there had different abilities and the pace that we created, and it forced me to be present. So a hike that I ordinarily would have done 10 times faster, I'm pausing and looking around and really experiencing the rainforest in a way that ordinarily when I'm hiking, I'm looking for the destination.
For me, it was like being in a playground.
That's it.
I was just enjoying the moment, enjoying the time, the nature, and everything, like all the things that you enjoy when you're a kid.
My favorite part about the hike, or one of my favorite parts, was that we were going up into the mountains to plant La Abuela. And the shaman, I don't know his exact age, but he was talking about La Abuela and saying, I love that I get to plant, and knowing that I'm not going to be the one that does the medicine, but just giving it back to nature and spreading this beautiful experience with other people.
Yeah.
And for us, I think it was really special getting to kind of close out the experience in that way.
Lost.
Of course, we got lost, but for me, it was perfect.
It was perfect.
We went exactly where we were meant to go. And even the moments where I would get distracted, where like there was this snake, this beautiful snake that came right in front of me, and I had my cell phone and I was taking a video right behind the snake, and I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. And I was thinking about the future, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna put this in the video and it's gonna be so cool. And then I realized like I wasn't filming. And it was just a reminder, like, you know, we set expectations, we feel like, oh, this is gonna be perfect, we start thinking about the future, and it takes us away from the present. And I think for me, the hike was a perfect experience to just be present. We're gonna do a hike through the jungle, taking medicine. A very important part of the medicine is the environment that we're in. So the fact that we're climbing up a mountain here is a really special place to experience the medicine and let the whole process run its course.
What you said about planting the abuela, for me was so beautiful, because planting is like adding life to this world. And the first 2 days we were doing the work, we were purifying our spirit, our mind, our soul. We were doing the work to heal. And once we were using the medicine, we are indebted to the earth. So for me, planting is one of the best ways to give back to the earth everything that they gave us unconditionally. We finished this hike in an amazing waterfall, and it was just perfect.
And a few days before the retreat, Laura and I had hiked in the same area, and we went to that waterfall, and it was amazing to get to swim naked in the waterfall, but it was cold. Like, I realized the first day I was flinching, and I was kind of putting my arm in, and eventually I got in. And after doing the medicine, doing the hike, being in the waterfall, there was no resistance. It was just fully accepting the water, just cleansing us. And although it was the same place, they say like in a river, you're never in the same river twice because the water is different. And in the same way, this waterfall is the same waterfall, but it was such a different experience.
The cherry on top of the cake, we were sharing our time with 2 dogs. The female was pregnant, and the last day we stayed there.
The morning we were leaving.
Yes, she
had her puppies.
And it was...
And we got to watch it. Like, we actually got to watch the babies, the puppies being born.
Gosh, everything was connected to that moment, that weekend.
Yeah.
And we are not doubting that everything is synchronistic in this world, and it's perfect. I didn't know that I need this experience, and I wasn't looking for this experience. And I thought that I could do the work by myself, that I was doing a good job. And at the end I realized that it helped me so much, and this is what I needed in the perfect time. And maybe sometimes we lie to ourselves. I suggest you to be honest with yourself and meditate and think about if you are living the life you want, or if you are happy, if you feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because that's really important.
And I think it's easy to think that you don't have any other options. You're stuck in the life that you're living. And we're not recommending or advertising plant medicine. We're just simply saying that there are options to get help. There are options to do the work, to get support. And for us, this was what we needed. This is what all the stars lined up, and I think it really supported us in our journey. And whatever your journey is, don't be scared to look for things to support you. You don't have to do it on your own.
Therapy or
meditation,
yoga, vipassana, plant medicine, whatever. Just look for your path and follow your intuition.
Yeah.
That's one of my learnings too. Follow lessons. That's one of my lessons too. Following my intuition.
I accept that this episode is not for everyone, and that's okay. For those that do connect with it, feel free to reach out to us, and we can continue the conversation.
And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like our channel.
Por mi aliento, por mi voz, agradezco por mi sueño y el latir mi corazón.